Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Strike Defender of the Fatherland. We're off facing an exciting 1 vs 1 on Bryansk Forest. Just briefly forgot there. We got here in the west, Burmie fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland taking on the role here of the 4th SS Panzergrenadier Polizei versus these we got here, JaminRock fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, the 17th Tank Corps breaking through, or at least attempting to break through, the fascist lines somewhere in the marshes of the Eastern Front. And we got Blitzkrieg, Festung Armor, and German mechanized with Panther, Pack, and infantry bulletins versus JaminRock's Guard Rifle, mechanized support, and Guard Motor with infantry, well, specifically penal trooper, and a lot of Guards bulletins there for JaminRock. Sniper start for Burmie, very unusual that, with a penal trooper start there for JaminRock, a lot less unusual in fact, very common. Again, the only thing that stands out is this heavy emphasis on guardsmen. I mean, there's nothing else you can basically call in there, so that's a very interesting choice there by JaminRock. That is a very interesting choice. We've got Grenadiers following up there for Burmie and the Wehrmacht here, the 4th SS, the result of a deal back before the war began between the, well, German armed forces and the police, where basically a lot of too many policemen, essentially, in a sense, a lot of manpower there, sort of good manpower, and they wanted to free it up. So a deal was struck where certain elements would just be sort of formed up as police battalions to support the army, so in march through Eastern Front, but a certain amount of them would also be sent to the Waffen SS to form up a SS division. And that was the 4th SS Polizei, hence the name Polizei. Fun fact. Even more fun fact, if you look at the Oberkommando West truck, by the way, there's a little poster on the inside of it hanging on the door. That is a propaganda poster for the 4th SS Panzergrenadier Polizei. Fun fact there. We got a scout here for JaminRock to follow up with these initial 2 penal troopers there, as Burmie's heading southwards there. Interesting choice going southwards, since that's a lot more enclosed here and less efficient for the sniper compared to the north, which is a lot more open to an extent, and lastly would be a much better territory there for the sniper to sort of roam about in. We got Grenadiers around there for Burmie. We got engineers heading southwards there, scout crew out for JaminRock as well. He's here sort of heads northwards. Now I'm not going to try and sort of take on the German defenders in the south here so far. More movement northwards there. Scout car setting out. Also, very fun fact. While you sort of recent reading, about sort of the Eastern Front, sort of finally doing Barbarossa and later Typhoon. So that interesting sort of appears there, like, again, the sort of T-54 sort of station of being really having a huge impact and all that, right from the beginning. But the thing is, apparently it wasn't quite as impactful as some would like you to believe. I mean, for example, the German sort of initial response was, by the time of range Typhoon, they would attach a howitzer and a Flak 88 to each Panther battalion, because that's pretty much what they figured was necessary. Also, right there, good hit on the sniper there. Guard wipe, he's going to lose the scout car, but really, a scout car for a sniper is a very good trade there for JaminRock, particularly with more expensive penalties about there. That's a very good trade. I was about to say there, that was basically the amount of impression the T-54, even the K1 they made on the Germans initially. They didn't actually figure it was necessary to do anything further. It was only after the Battle of Mtensk, where in a much better position there, went doing a river crossing, Guderian's, I can't remember which Panther division, it was under an Eugenbach, either way, sort of got a very bloody nose from a much more well-positioned there. In fact, he insisted that they actually send out a second commission, sort of figure out, well, what's actually up with these Soviet tanks, because he rather at that stage realised the whole Flak and Howard's idea, it didn't actually hold out that well there versus a much better position in T-34s and K1, so that's a sort of little fun detail there, sort of their reason again. That's sort of the fun thing about just reading a lot of books, I mean, not just thinking one book, well, this is the Bible about World War II ops, just reading a lot of books, because there's a lot of sort of small details you sort of never really get through there. It's a tend to just, decide there's just one universal truth rather than just figuring out the truth between the actual sort of different sort of information you get. And it's got Grenadiers versus penal troops there. We got light machine guns away there for Burmie, so it's obviously tagged up there. Again, very sort of light tier 1 there for the Wehrmacht. 3 Grenadiers sniper. Bit risky though, he does have plenty of infantry. Though again, without the sniper, his infantry is now much weaker, much more unsupported. He needs to retreat these Grenadiers before they get wiped out. The penal troops, we can see the JaminRock pushing it aggressively. Field medics on way for him, so he's sticking to so far 3 penal trooper squads there. Of course, he might be planning to supplement with guardsmen down the road. And meanwhile, Burmie there taking up with the light mechanized company there for Das Vaterland. In the south, they're more going to be retreating as they're just again outgunned here by JaminRock's explosive breakthrough via the center there. So that's going to be a bit of a problem there. Also looks like he was a bit too quick to move the pioneer stick. Can happen from time to time. You know, you give out an order and you realise you gave it out to the wrong people. So right there, JaminRock very quick to cut off Burmie's resources there. Grenadier squad hanging about here. And conscripts. Conscripts? Interesting. I'm guessing at this point he's planning to merge the conscripts with the penal troopers. Well, hello. That's a very interesting idea. No, apparently not. Just briefly looked like it. I mean, otherwise, why would you go for a conscript squad at this point if you're not planning that? It's either that is planning rifle combined arms now. Either way, though, it's very interesting choice there for JaminRock. Very interesting choice. In the north there, we got Grenadiers moving ahead there for the fatherland. Trying to break through there again, realising JaminRock is now pushing southwards, so he's going to head northwards instead. And JaminRock there finally makes a choice. It's going to be mechanised support tactics. Interesting choice there. But if you get guards motor maybe or guards rifle, but he aims for guards mechanised or get mechanised support. Comes moving ahead there. They were a bit on their own. They'll soon be linking up with the Russian troops. But there we go. We got a 2-2 out here for Burmie. Not Panther Grenadiers on the map like this. You know, they've been pretty good. I mean, the 2-2 is also handy, but again, the closer quarters could allow you know, a quick satchel charge added at the wrong spot. They're on anti-tank grenade in this case, which could in fact be why JaminRock went for the conscripts, just to have a source of anti-tank grenades, so that way snare up any German vehicles. So, very good choice there. I think very astute tactical and strategic decision there by JaminRock, which is quickly proving itself handy there. In fact, allows the people to then get close and maybe try a satchel charge there, though of course they have to sort of have it a bit stand low. In this case, pushing back the Grenadiers will try to make things a lot bloody easier for the rest of JaminRock's forces. And meanwhile, though, Burmie making good progress in the north here, but he is losing the south here to the Russians, to the 17th Tank Corps. Troops reinforcing here, 2-2 desperately trying to get away there. Infantry more or less has scarped, abandoned it. But there you go, Grenadiers got their rank to support the 2-2, and JaminRock quickly calls off any further pursuit of the fascist armoured automobile. Up north there, penal troops are about to fight out. The Grenadiers in a very disadvantaged position. They're already low on health, they're negative cover, and the penal troops have full health and also got off a very good volley there. So that was pretty bad there. And we can see JaminRock filling up with more infantry. We got a guards rifle infantry squad. And those, well, they're going to be the time for some DPs because they've been laying down demo charge. In this case, very effective spot for a demo charge. It's pretty much a choke point, meaning if you can sort of time it off correctly, this is going to hurt Burmie a lot. That is a very dangerous move there. Grenadiers heading northwards here, 2-2 being fixed up. Grenadiers standing about here, and Grenadiers further moving north. So we got double light machine guns out there for Burmie. And it's a 17th SS. Which, despite being, you know, one of the sort of first SS divisions, never really sort of, you know, reached any sort of real elite status, I believe. It was competent, but it's not something you actually hear a lot about in terms of an actual combat performance. It also was pretty much always a Panther Grenadier division and was never sort of really upgraded for any sort of greater status. Oh! He needs to cover around that own demo charge there. I mean, JaminRock this because theory they could set the 2-2 to set it off there with its auto cannon, which can actually set off demo charge. Oh no! No! I can't watch. It went off. Didn't wipe the Grenadiers. Didn't wipe the 2-2-2, and the 2-2-2 gets. Oh, the Grenadiers got wiped. They didn't get away, but the 2-2 gets away. Oh god, that's terrible for Burmie. He's short on infantry now here versus JaminRock. He needs some more infantry, you know, take the fight forwards. Grenadiers just sweeping northwards there, pushing away the penal troops there, but the south here very much seems like Stalin land at the moment. And JaminRock swiftly dispatches infantry northwards to make the north Stalin land as well. You got penal troops taking from here, so we got a two-pronged assault here. Very strong left prong with a weak eastern prong here. In this case, the strong left prong of the assault pretty much just threatens wipe. If Burmie doesn't immediately retreat, this is just too much firepower to him. Just risk not retreating in time there. So overall, there, very I think sort of well executed assault there by JaminRock. Grenadiers just need to retreat as well. Again, the left prong is just too dangerous for Burmie to ignore. Meanwhile, here JaminRock just taking a hit there. Back here, repairs going on. Grenadiers around there for Burmie's act up to 4 Grenadier squads. At MD42 though would not be a bad choice here versus all this Russian infantry as well. So we got a large infantry force there for JaminRock, smaller infantry force there for Burmie. Troops heading southwards to they're being fixed up. Can go with your tank command up. Could go for T7. He could go for the half track, but he's not likely to do so. MD42 following up there for Burmie, very good, but he's also considered soon some well, anti-tank defenses. Either that, or he needs to lay down a lot of teller mines, but he's going for mines. But he's obviously worried about further demo charges and mines, which is a very sensible choice there. But Burmie, obviously, he's already lost almost, well, practically lost the Canadian squad and almost lost his 2-2 to a demo charge there. T70 following up with her JaminRock and the 17th Tank Corps. Grenadiers hitting southwards. MD42 arriving there for Burmie. Constantly up there against the Grenadiers. Shots fired. Car 98Ks versus most 99. We got to see their constantly just immediately retreat again. Bigger sweep in there, slightly north of the other Grenadiers squad there, and I imagine JaminRock was quite aware of that and just decided to pull ahead. Though for some reason, he still sends in a single penal trooper squad there, which seems a bit strange then. He could have just pulled back the constant with a quick rah, but in this case, able to punish the Grenadiers well. 2-2 moves in. Well, we got the T7 ring in there, so we get retreats as well there. JaminRock seems a bit sketchy. He just retreats all of a sudden, despite having troops around to support there. So I'm not entirely sure what JaminRock is happening here. He's just getting a bit twitchy there versus Burmie. So expecting something really bad to happen. It's just causing him to just get really nervous. I'm not entirely sure there, because again, he just retreats before. Right, it's just another unit disruptor and force the first one. It does it like twice in a row, so it feels like Burmie, oh not Burmie, but JaminRock is really nervous for some reason. Like he's expecting just a jackboot to come flying out of nowhere and kick his nose in. Oh, right on, they're going to just walk over the T70, big loss for Burmie. He's going for the Pack 40 there, good job. They really also consider some mines. Neenan. JaminRock here continue to be dominant versus Burmie. Got darts and others are going to do this. Rifle grenade off, trying to catch him in this case, though JaminRock definitely dodges it. Info to supporting, but can't quite seem to get a hit there on the guardsman. Hard to say what's causing it. It might just be this little cluster of trees here that's causing it. Because sort of looking from this standpoint off, there shouldn't be much of it, you know. Oh, there we go. I think though it's a mistake here of some sort, you know. It looks like this is actually more of a shot blocker towards here than it should be, and the map doesn't actually tell you that. I think that's the case there for Burmie's MG42. It's actually just that bit here that for some reason is more of a shot blocker than it appears to be. Rather unfortunate there for Burmie, rather unfortunate. T7 doing a conce again, he's trying to stay clear of any trouble there. Very good move by JaminRock. Burmie here scoring for Blitzkrieg. Probably in this case he's going to rely on the command tank, so as a clutch call into that way, you know, trying to sort of just briefly pull through there versus JaminRock. We'll have to see, of course, if JaminRock doesn't just take a hit here of Burmie, and that way can punish it. But if he doesn't take up fast enough, a command tank could possibly work out there for Burmie. He could, of course, also in theory, you know, use tactical movement, which is a good ability when properly utilised. He can, in some cases, completely catch an opponent off guard. He's just suddenly just rushed them as a swift burst of infantry movement. So that's a little fun fact there. Before repositioning, but problem is he's doing it without an infantry screen again. That's always the one thing you should be careful about, sending a machine gun without an infantry screen. When again he's sending the Grenadiers first, the Pack 40 or the MD42 wouldn't have been quite as bad a spot as it was, and now his Pack 40 and the Grenadiers a bit more on their own versus a much larger cluster of guardsmen there from JaminRock. So again, Grenadiers first would have done a lot of good there for Burmie. Or at least at the 2-2 nearby against spotting head, maybe using infantry awareness to further just sort of look for any sort of hidden targets around these corners. In that regard, you know, infantry awareness is a pretty interesting ability which does tend to get overlooked. But even as this big assault in the south, you've got a centre push and a north push here. In this case, this could basically just be a diversion just to draw attention away from the rest of the force. They go hit into a mine. Still, it's actually drawing in a lot of infantry there in theory. So if you realise what's going on time the troops, they're going to actually waste their large chunk of German forces, troops there in the north. There we go. We're also making progress elsewhere. Still, JaminRock is getting ahead here, Burmie resource-wise, and Burmie needs to be very quick about turning this around. Guardsmen, they're slowly bleeding out as the Grenadiers firing away. Pioneers grabbing the centre victory point for the fatherland, and the T-70 here is being fixed up. There's certainly a lot of action going on here on this map, in this swamp land. Also, fun fact, this little bit of terrain feature is actually called a corduroy road, basically sort of a series of logs just used to sort of just try and make it a bit more stable. The Germans made a great use of them on the Eastern Front. Little fun fact there. Just a little sort of more side detail there. And yeah, the Russian overall road network on the Eastern Front was in many cases terrible. And again, the Germans would do whatever they could to just try and somehow fix it up there. The overall logistical preparations for Barbarossa overall were actually pretty poor by the Germans. They expected it would just be easily over, and in many cases they sort of made a lot of mistakes that were pretty obvious. Like, for example, they were never prepared for the fact that the Russians had a different rail gauge than the German railways, so it actually took them quite a bit of while before they could begin using these Soviet railways sort of efficiently. Fun fact there. Panther and the T-72 these two blasting away, gasping there, grenading off. Nicely dodged by the Pioneers instead of running into some of the fragments there. Take a nasty hit, Pioneers closing up, 2-2 continue to blast away, they gasp and take some nasty damage. And here in the centre we have 2 Canadian squads versus penal troops and conscript light machine gun fire there, rakes the penal troops, their cover. Not quite sufficient there, there's a heavy pail of bullets there, roughing it further threaten the cover. In the south here, Pioneers push back there, further south they're going to losing out to the penal troops as well here. In this case, Burmie scouting his forces out too thinly, and that's allowing JaminRock to more efficiently defend with his penal troopers there, and Gaspin sort of deal with sort of the individual Propagandacasters or more easily, even the light machine guns. The problem is again, all of the light machine guns in the centre, not in the south. Again, this is where Panther Grenadiers, I think, would done Burmie, a nice bit of good. Instead of just constantly going for all Grenadiers, a single Panther Grenadier squad in the southern half of the map here will be quite good because, again, shorter ranges overall a lot more efficient for the Panther Grenadiers, especially once they get veterans. They're going to really be able to just dominate the southern half of the map there, so that'll really be a good choice for Burmie. But again, he's very much concerned with the Befehlspanzer plan. JaminRock there already got the mechanized armor company up, so you can see there Burmie really, I think, should have considered some Panther Grenadiers. I mean, it's good he's got a solid chunk of infantry. Again, some players tend to neglect that, but choosing the right infantry for the sort of situation is also a good thing. In this case, I think Panther Grenadiers would be eminently suited for fighting in the southern half of the map here. Plus, again, they're just pretty great overall. There you go, 2-2 almost good to go again. T-34 and 6 on the way there for JaminRock and the 17th Tank Corps. But again, while the initial shot of the T-34 was great in the sense, the actual response wasn't that great from the Germans in the end. I mean, again, they sort of knew the guns were up, but again, they just figured the way the Russians were handling them initially, that all they needed to do was just bring up some extra, heavy anti-tank guns to deal with them, essentially howitzers and, well, flak 88s. And yes, howitzers were actually used as anti-tank weapons as well. They actually had anti-tank shells for the 105 and the 150 millimeter howitzers. Fun fact. But there you go, we got a command tank out here for Burmie, Befehlspanzerwagen. I mean, it hurts his teching, so I'm not really a fan of this move, but I suppose it does give a bit of extra pressure early on versus JaminRock, plus of course can help deal with the infantry, but it's not very strong versus the T-34, obviously. In fact, it is quite the opposite of strong. It is kind of weak. In this case, it's got the Pack 40 support, it's got Canadian nearby, so we can sort of hit it with the Pack 40 and then Panther farsted. We should be able to at least, force JaminRock to quickly track his T-34 before it gets turned into a burning hulk of scrap. Grenadiers got wiped light machine gun drop there, but he retreats everything in the face of the 2-2. I'm guessing that was a miss there. He was having a lot of these units selected, didn't realise he had the Gaspin select and then sort of hit him as well. T-7 there gets knocked out. A small victory for Burmie and the fatherland here. The T-70 crashed into a nearby tree and explodes. My God, Russian trees are explosive. 9, that's a tank. Oh, a lot of munitions in it though. I would say for such a tiny tank, it does explode quite well. You'd think it became very huge explosive shells or something. Not 45mm ones. More guards from there. So we can also see JaminRock actually lost a guard squad there. So in that regard, that's sort of slightly further lower the field here for Burmie. Now it's got a command tank out. And again, it does have an advantage. Again, it makes his infantry a lot more equal to all of the penal troops and guardsmen, because it makes it a bit tougher to kill. But really, long term, Burmie needs to tech. He needs panzers. Not just Befehlspanzers. I mean, again, command tank doesn't really work out well without tanks to command. Eberbach, that was the go. It's the Kampfgruppe Eberbach. That was under good range command. That was sort of spearheading there by the Battle of Montansk. Ultimately, they won through doing it to the snows, reducing visibility, allowing them to cross by a pontoon bridge the Russians are left unguarded, quickly bypassing the main force and hitting Mchensk itself with a smaller Kampfgruppe from a single Panther battalion with a bit of infantry attached to it. Quickly outmaneuvering the Russians completely, because Mchensk, as it turned out, was really poorly defended. They seized it, outmaneuvering and cutting off the Russian tanks there. Fun little detail there. Been reading about in a book called Armoured Battles on the Eastern Front. It's quite interesting. The author clearly has a bit of a hatred for getting all the sort of more commonly known commanders, and he doesn't, you know, try to hide it. I mean, he's kind of like the guy who just had to hear about all that, how Guderian is great, Panthers are great, and all that, and he's just sick and tired of it. He doesn't seem to be sick and tired of all the stuff that he's passed by the Soviets, but generally, you know, well, except maybe for Zhukov. So, in that regard, he's more likely to just bring up a lot of the details you generally never hear. And that actually makes the book, by the way, pretty great. I'm still not done finishing. I'll probably, you know, make a sort of full review on my Facebook page or something like for it, or my Patreon page. I do feel free to support Patreon, but, you know, it's a very interesting book, and overall, I think, despite, you know, again, my slight niggles for the author's style, he does really sort of bring up a lot of interesting detail. Material makes it a pretty good book so far. Anyways, command train engaging the T-34-76 there. Munitions cache up for Burmie. Interesting choice they went for munitions cache. He's also got a lot of fuel. He's still not taking up, and he really should consider taking up there. Again, he needs to bring up something before JaminRock hits him with a tide of T-34. So could JaminRock be saving up for the ISU-152 now? That would be interesting. Oh, never mind, he's not going for it. I was about to say it would be interesting, but not necessarily the right choice. He's going for more T-34-76s, which certainly I think have won on there in sort of the Soviet player consciousness. Again, it's actually being a pretty good, you know, medium tank. It's cheap, can't really resist a lot of damage. Again, it can't bounce a lot of shots, but it's fast, cheap, and can do quite good damage. And if you know how to, you know, play to those strengths, the T-34-76 is, you know, quite a solid tank. Again, individually, not very strong, but in numbers, great. And that was sort of also, you know, the fact about the T-34 in the actual war, more or less. Going to do something northwards there. Almost done taking up there. Penalty was being pushed back there as well.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
So now you can see again, thanks to the command tank though, and the fact he, you know, supported it properly with anti-tank guns and infantry. Again, tank supported, you know, again, combined arms are a lot stronger than just, you know, blindly rushing in a T-34 with next to no support. So again, combined arms, really good stuff. Up north, Gun is being swept away by a large chunk of JaminRock's infantry. 17th Tank Corps, not allowing the fascists to grab anything without a fight. He's planning tier 4 at this stage. I mean, I guess if we can hold on for so long, he could pull it off. And again, you're less likely to be punished for it as badly than it would be in like the last series of larger patches there. So, I mean, interesting idea there, certainly for Burmie, interesting. I mean, not necessarily fully recommend it, but it can work out. It can work out depending on how your opponent sort of goes in the counter situation. And I guess Burmie's in the sort of situation where he can allow him to pull it off, though I would probably have recommended a fuel cache instead of munitions cache there. Unless he's planning a lot of telemites that way to try and buy time before, you know, JaminRock hits critical mass with his tanks and just steamrolls Burmie. Because that's the one thing you have to be mindful of once your opponent really begins, you know, going for a lot of... Oh! Calling it a bomb is trying to shed. Almost got the machine gun. This is Patriot Socialist requesting airstrike on Shed. Did I hear correctly? Shed. Yes, Shed. Okay. Gonna need to retreat very fast before the T-54 takes him out in the south here. T-54 the mix and nasty encounter with the Pack 40s. And again, here sort of hits another sort of weird thing here. As you might be noticing now, my dear viewers, these trees don't actually block very much, whereas again, this tree blocks an awful lot. So in that regard, there are some oddities as to Bryansk Forest in how the trees work. These are not normal trees. These are Lovecraftian trees, where, you know, the laws of nature don't quite apply, and where you best not think too much about it unless you want to go insane. But right now, the JaminRock just needs to get all his tanks out there and save, you know, order. He's almost got the armor there. He just needs to keep moving, I think, but he's trying to buy time here with the other T-Fed 4 thing. But again, the longer he stays, the more risk getting, you know, taken out with a Panther first, then they're knocked out with the anti-tank gun there. So he needs to either get some imps up there, something else. But he's really just pushing it here. JaminRock perhaps just realised he can't get the T-Fed out there. He's just going to try and do as much damage. So there you go. Main gun out on his T-Fed 4. Kaput. And there you go. Panther Faust leaves it burning. There's some pretty hefty action there between JaminRock and Burmie here in the close quarters of the haunted woods of Bryansk Forest. But there you go. He could go for a Panther, and that was probably the best choice here. Would certainly punish JaminRock now for just going for a lot of T-54s with no tank resource. So again, he does have guardsmen, which could certainly, to an extent, threaten the Panther. In fact, they were quite close to just scrapping the Panther project once, you know, it came out there. At least quickly moving on to the Panther 2 because of anti-tank rifles. It was only until someone a bit clever, I don't know who he was, but I just called him Clever Hans, just figured, you know, what if we just have a bit of extra steel, you know, armoured skirts on the sides of the Panther, thusly, you know, keeping the flanks of the Panther secure versus those things, and at which point they just scrap the entire Panther 2 project. Which is just one of those sort of things that sort of highlights just how occasionally how the Germans approach things. You know, again, just the entire project is scrapped because of, you know, 5mm of steel being added to the side of a tank. I think the turret of the Panther 2 would later sort of be attempted on the Panther Model F, which may or may not have seen very little usage around 1945. May or may not. Anyways, Katyusha on the way there for JaminRock. He's clearly not expecting the Panther, and again, Panthers not that common, but you know. At some point, though, he really should expect them to go for some kind of tank, though. I mean, going for Katyusha at this stage, when all he's got is ours, besides the T-Fed force, a bunch of guardsmen, is perhaps pushing his luck a bit. And Burmie can very soon there go for the Panther. Panther Kampfwagen. I mean, he could also go for the Sturmpanzer, but I'd not recommend that. I would not advise that. That would be very, very silly there by Burmie. That would be very silly indeed. Noting, though, Burmie hasn't really made much use of the doctrine. I mean, tactical movement, none. I think he might use a bit of Panther tactician, but certainly no reconnaissance so far either. But all those could all, you know, help him quite out a bit at times. And there you go, Panther on the way for Burmie and the 4th SS. Dispatched from the nearby 3rd Panzer Division supply support here. Merch conscious there with the penal tube escort there. So interesting to see how JaminRock then responds to the arrival of the Panther. That'll be very interesting to watch. Strange MD-42-5 there, quickly push back. Got a Katyusha there unleashing hell on the German positions, trying to take out the machine gun there. Quick hit on the command tank as well. Bad setup there for the MD-42, very bad. Quickly wipe then taken here by JaminRock. A notable loss there for Burmie if it happens. His Panther is almost done, and there you go, machine gun did the wipe, but there's too much of a threat there, perhaps somebody able to grab it, but still. I think he's going to try it there. No, he's not. T-Fed 4 needs to get out before it gets completely knocked out. But he can't, it's just too much. Then we got the Panther moving out there for Burmie as well. The Panzer Kampfwagen from T-Fed 4 there, left burning. Cycle charge off there. Gets the 222. Almost gets the command tank though, which hits 22's penalty. They get wiped in the process, I think. Or did they manage to retreat? No, I think they got wiped there. They got annihilated. Guys, they're trying to get out. We got grenades down there trying to catch the pioneers as well. Panther just blazes his way through. JaminRock's southern force has been completely shot. There you go, catches the Katyusha as well. The Panther's on a rampage. An earth-shattering blow there to JaminRock. Now JaminRock, in fact, is in a very bad position. He's got an tank destroyer on the way though. He needs to support. Oh, he cancels it. He got some more guards. I think he's now aiming for the ice shoe instead. Although I would probably recommend a field gun instead, but seems like JaminRock is just completely here thrown off by the arrival of a Panther. I mean, they're still pretty rare, but again, as we sort of see from all the recent replays, Panther's actually kind of viable now. Actually kind of viable, as long as, again, you probably support them again combined arms and, you know, don't just blindly rush towards them, but they're actually viable. They're actually, you know, good now. Which is, I suppose, again, is the thing. There are a lot of solo players, for that matter, all Allied players, and they have to deal with it. You know, it's probably the kind of shell shock. You know, they're like everything they know is wrong. The Panther, it's good. You know, they'll have to, you know, see a therapist about it. You know, ask questions about, you know, their mothers and fathers and all that. You know, how that relates to the Panther, I don't know, but you know, therapists. Anyways, when it is they need to retreat, or is the psychiatrist? Is the difference? Anyways. Again, the haunted woods of Briansk, the unnatural woods. Whatever you make of it, they're not right. Don't think too much about it, and don't listen to the voices. Except for my voice, of course. My voice is the only voice in your head you should listen to. Every other voice, though. Anyways, Command 10 has spawned the Panther here, pushing back the Guardsman from the centre. And meanwhile, the JaminRock here launching an assault on the south to try and retake that, trying to deny fuel. And of course, get more fuel here for his ISU-152, also known as the Sphero Boy or the Beast Killer, because, well, its high explosive rounds could generally just through sheer explosive force knock out most tanks. Which in theory the Sturm Panther could also have done, in fact, because its shells had more high explosive firepower, but you know, it just didn't really see much use in that role. So I guess it just didn't get known for it, but in theory, I think if a Sturm Panther shot, say, a Russian tank, that thing would also fall apart. There you go, the mine goes off, down to the engine near the command tank. It's got in from nearby, but that could still be a bit risky there for Burmie and the 4th SS. Still, JaminRock here's got most of the map versus Burmie. Burmie's victory points are certainly looking a bit rough there. Panther heading southwards. Counter squad they've been engaged by the Panzerkampfwagen 5. It's a tank from the other side. They're catching the deadly crossfire. Guardsmen up support, and again firing here through the unspeakable woods. Come out here, prepared just in time. It's got Pumas with their P2S attacking as well here. Can't get quite close enough to do some serious damage to the Panther. P2S is slightly penetrating the armor there. I think JaminRock is sincerely here playing for the ISU. He's just got the fuel now. He just needs the manpower. But again, on a map like this, it's going to be certainly tricky to get full use of it. And again, if the Panther then flanks the ISU, he's going to be in some deep boshed. That's certainly something there to keep in mind. Got what with the satchel charge. Bad news there for Burmie, but he's still got the armor advantage. He's still refusing to go for Panther Grenadiers, though. He is still very much refusing to call, you know, Panther Grenadier escorts supports in from tanks. There you go, 8 kills in the Panther, closing in on Veterans E1. Also, fun fact, it actually took about a minute to open the turret hatch on the Panther, which basically meant, you know, in a bad situation you couldn't easily get up. But then, counter argument is most Panthers would have driven about with the hatch open anyways to just get, you know, better view overall, so they can actually see what's going on. I mean, the only case that the hatch closes, then there's actually, you know, chance of being infantry close by, obviously, so the infantry couldn't just, you know, pop in a grenade. Otherwise, they would very much, you know, hatches open. Fun fact. So he clearly was planning for the ISU, but decides against it, meaning he's just been wasting all that time without a tank destroyer versus the command tank and the Panther. That is not good there for JaminRock. That's the kind of indecision that can hurt you, because that had several minutes then without a tank destroyer versus a big tank there, and a not so big tank. Du brauchen Panzerunterstützung. Shut up, Ludwig. There you go, HD5 tank start there for JaminRock. Based on the T-34 chassis. Fun fact. There were Rule 2 variants of it, the issue 5 and the issue 5M, which is sort of an intermediate version, as they couldn't quite get the issue 100 ready in time, so they made some more just using the chassis for the issue 100. Come out and they're pushing back infantry, but there you go, will soon be met here by the issue 5 tank destroyer. Mines going off there, Peanut suppressing the Guardsmen, but there you go. Panther moving in, he's coming up to blitz the issue 5 too far ahead. There you go, good hit on the Panther. We got Mark target on the Panther 4 command tank there. Issue 5 needs to be careful not to push. There you go, smoke screen down. And quickly gets out of there. JaminRock trying to flank about with his infantry, but the command tank's already escaped his grasp, of course. He could split away the infantry, in which case the Panther's going to be a lot more easy to deal with. At the same time, we've got another squad trying to push through here. We can see JaminRock's launching like solid. There you go, big engagement here, Grenadiers. Guardsmen, Peons will flank, rifle grenade off there, grenades going off left and right as well. There, Grenadiers out in the open. Guardsmen suffering there horrifically as light machine gun fire and rifle grenades just tear into them. We got air support there, just constantly flying about there. The command tank though is safe here. It's firing up here, Grenadiers pushing back the Guardsmen on the Peon super squads here. Panther there dealing with the flanking Peon super somewhat. Looks like he might not be reacting in time, which gives good off a salvage charge to the damaged engine. Panther gets away in the nick of time. 85 couldn't win here. So gains a center here away from Burmie. Command tank there. Oh, pack 40% support the Panther. Grenadiers moving as well there. Peons are taking losses out in the open here. Another tank destroyer for JaminRock. As all this happening, the counter squad here is flanking behind. Very good work. They were taking fire there from the Grenadiers. The light machine gun is not to be taken lightly, and no, neither is the Panther's machine guns either. Growing points here. Contact out in the open, taking quite a bit of damage there from heavy and light machine guns. Well, technically medium machine gun. The Germans technically didn't have a heavy machine gun, though what they did use instead was the 2cm flak as a heavy machine gun. Essentially. Fun fact there. Units out in the hub as the Grenadiers, light machine guns, 28 kills there for the fatherland. Sergeant Steiner's men are performing bravely in service of the farm. There you go, H5 gets good in the tank. Panther taken down to half health. H5 veterans one unit wiped out, he looks like, by a rifle grenade, extinguishing their lives. Command tank moving hit there, Panther pulling back there for repairs by the Pioneers. Good work here. Second tank is right around there for JaminRock and the 17th Tank Corps. Quick shots down the command tank. Command tank there taking a lot of damage from the HG5s. Panther fast on the HG5 there. So we could lose the command tank here. The problem is one tank destroyer disabled. Once it gets the Panther up, we could quickly swarm them. And there goes Ori here going in aggressively with the command tank. Going to try and knock it out. But there you go. HG5 tank destroyer leaves it burning. Quickly calls in a replacement command tank. Panther there good to go. Could actually probably pull in and maybe knock it out with a bit of infantry support if he wants to. But looks like Burmie is in no rush here. He has no intent of risking it all there versus JaminRock. Command tank there arriving. Pioneers going points here. Grenadiers retreating. Unspeakable woods. Forbidden woods.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Strange to the MG42 there, quickly suppressed. Command tank in support as well. Pinning down the entire unit there, not good there for JaminRock. His forces thwarted by a single machine gun crew, well placed in a series of craters. Panther's just hanging back there. He's being hit, the other one still need repairs. Bit risky something like that when he could risk being flanked by the Panther if Burmie decides to get aggressive. Burmie heading north as well. He's probably going to try and aim for victory points and defend them a bit there. Maybe with some S-mines would be a very good choice, in this case an MG42. And Grenadiers sort of hiding here. Could lay down a bunker as well though if he wanted to. But there you go. Command tank gives us a tank destroyer. But not working out well there. Needs to dispatch some armoured support there swiftly. I said needs to dispatch some armoured support swiftly, Burmie. 4 vets. It looks like it's going to lose another command tank here. Go to a bit of sluggish behaviour this time around. Tank's almost got it. But looks like the command tank is barely escaping. There you go. Panther to the rescue. Main gun up. But there you go. Almost got the guards from their crushed. Panther moves in there, gaining veterans 1 here. Tank's on a bit of trouble. We got another Mark B. We could blitz past it now. He's got Blitzkrieg. He's got Blitzkrieg. Tank's just coming to damage engine. There's damage engine. Pack 40. Where's the Pack 40? Scheiße. Oh, Tellermine. It circles into Tellermine. If that happened for that Tellermine, that Panther would have been dead. Close one there for Burmie. Close one for Burmie and his Panther. But now both his tanks are in a very sorry state there, but he's got most of the map now. JaminRock is looking a lot weaker. There you go. Pack 40 Panther fast there. Second tank destroyer is about to be left, a burning hulk of Soviet steel. And the unit down there is just being absolutely obliterated by the MG42 there. Big infantry push here for JaminRock to try and salvage the situation in the south there, but it's not looking good. We got infantry threatening the flank of JaminRock's push. We got another tank on the way for JaminRock and the 17th Tank Corps, but it's just not working out for those troops again. They're just being suppressed there by the infantry 42. And this, they could try and fire a rifle grenade into the lump of Russian troops there. Looks like he's attempting. There you go. 200 points left for JaminRock. Tanks being worked hard on there by German pioneers. And there you go, veteran 3 on the MD-42. A lone guard squad there being sent northwards on a mission of most vital importance.
We are losing supplies to the enemy. We have a new Su-85. The enemy has cut off a sector.
And another Panther of Burmie just to seal the deal. If he gets 2 Panthers, there is no way, absolutely at all, that JaminRock can win this, unless Burmie suddenly decides just to play them like terribly. Machine gun bugs are still what I think have been some good choices here for Burmie to help defend some of those victory points here against any harassment there from JaminRock. Command tank rushing north to support the conditions against the guard squad there. Panther halfway done there for Burmie and the 4th SS. And the south here, some Russian infantry supporting the others in the centre there, for that matter in the north. Basically tying them down at this stage. Panther almost done there, very close to done. He's going for the point there, guarding north of the field there. And the Panther's good to go there for Burmie. And the second one is just about to arrive. There we go. Second Panther.
Our headquarters is taking enemy fire.
Guard squad annihilated. Here we got a single tank so being sent in, completely unsupported. So 2 Panthers out there, certainly a rarity from the Wehrmacht, but increasingly might not be so rare. Might not be so rare if the Panther really seems to catch on, which it does seem to be. Which only means again the Wehrmacht will just have a sort of larger variety of strategies to be able to do them. But there you go, going here for the Su-5 tank, so with the Panther there. There's got no one arriving. You got Mark vehicle there. He's got air support available. In this case, it's super close support immediately. You got the second or first Panther there arriving. Quickly outmaneuvering both tank destroyers. So there's nothing to snare the Panther. And there you go, air support arriving in there as well. Almost got one of the Su-5s there. Making it a bit too long about one of the Panthers, but there you go. Su-5 about to get knocked out here. Oh, missed, but there you go. Game over, GG. Complete destruction of the 17th Tank Corps by the 4th SS. A heavy battle of armour and attrition here on Bryansk Forest. JaminRock, I think, missed some opportunity, partly with going too long with the issue, but also not bringing up any field guns, partly because they were attacked forward, which of course allowed Burmie then to actually hold on with the command tank and then actually push back against JaminRock. Also good combined arms play there with Burmie once he got the command tank out, supporting with his Pack 40, forming a very strong combined arms group versus JaminRock, and JaminRock just struggled to deal with it. Also, JaminRock could have mined more versus Burmie. In that regard, JaminRock, when he had the edge there, never really solidified with, sandbags or a lot of mines or anything, and that was definitely to Burmie's advantage there versus JaminRock. Also, nice use of the Panther, nice seeing them used, and actually, helped them, I think, win the fight here versus JaminRock. So, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, tell your friends, shared it with everyone. If not, send in a replay of any feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers. Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye.